ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.
You are watching the leaders in full immersion gaming, and this is the pregame show only on the NBL Network.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the NBL Live pregame show that is brought to you each and every week by our graphic sponsor, Web3KS.com. If you tune into NBL Live, you hear about Web3KS.com all the time, folks. They do a ton of graphics for the entire NBL network, and they are super affordable. They're doing a great deal right now. If you need graphics done, hit up Web3KS.com. Our good friend over there, Albidus, he'll give you 15% off your order if you mention NBL sent you. Web3KS.com. They're the leaders in affordable graphic design. Thanks for hanging out with us, folks. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, the co-commish, Lip. We got a great game on tap for you. Week 15 action. We're getting right down to the playoff battle that everybody is looking forward to here on twitch.tv/NBL Network. Tonight, we have the Detroit Lions taking on the New York Giants. Lip, this should be a great game. I think this is a big prove-it game for the Giants. We know how good the Lions are. The Giants, though, one of the big surprises in the NBL this year, but they've got a tall task ahead, and this could be a barometer to see where they stand in terms of the good teams in the NBL.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. The Lions, we know where they're at. We know their history. We know how good they've been. But the Giants are the ones that need to prove themselves tonight. This is a big matchup at the NFC, and they've just played so, inconsistent the last couple of weeks. I really want to see them pull it together tonight in this big game against the Lions. Davis Webb is going to have to play out of his mind against a really good defense in Detroit, and of course, they're going to have to hold back Aaron Rodgers and Harvey Beckham on defense. So it's going to be a great matchup, and we're going to get to see a lot looking into the NFC playoff picture.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be two teams we see matched up in those playoffs coming up in 2 short weeks following this one on the NBL Network. Let's take a look at the players to watch for today's game between the Giants and the Lions. And first on the side of the New York Giants, we, of course, have the tight end, Evan Ingram. 56 catches this year. He's got 780 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. And his numbers, they're not overly impressive, but the biggest number I look to is those 56 receptions. Evan Ingram is that safety blanket for Davis Webb. We've said it a couple times when the Giants have been on NBL Live. This is a guy that when Davis Webb needs a big completion, when Davis Webb needs a big conversion, he looks for Evan Ingram. And not only does he have sure hands, and is he that guy that can pick up the big yards, he has that big play ability and is a huge target inside the red zone.
Yeah, you look at Davis Webb's completion percentage at 68% and a quarterback rating of 114. You know that Ingram's has had a lot to do with that because OBJ's at 45 receptions, Ingram's at 56, and that's exactly the role that he's played. Just around 700 yards and only 3 touchdowns, but the guy is always there to be that check down, always completing passes to him. In those tough spots, big third downs, we're going to see a lot of him tonight, and that's what makes this offense so dynamic.
Yeah, and on the flip side, for the Detroit Lions, we've got Alante Powers, the outside linebacker. And this guy, he's been a turnover machine. 5 interceptions as the linebacker position, 22 tackles. Lip, this was a team that last year had KGH, and he was such an important part of this defense in forcing turnovers. We know how good the Lions' offense is. We know how good Aaron Rodgers and Harvey Beckham are. But defensively, this Lions team is incredibly solid and maybe one of the more underrated defensive units in the league.
Yeah, they're absolutely underrated because people always look at that offense and they always talk about the offense, the wide receivers. Always the quarterback position is what's paid attention to in Detroit. But Alante Powers has come out of Stanford and just really taken over leadership on the defensive side of the ball. This is one thing that we've always heard from the Lions is that they want to get some better linebacker play from their defense, and that's exactly what they did this year whenever they selected Powers. He has become a leader. He's quick, he's strong, and he does all those things that just really nobody pays attention to, but he does them all right, and that is what gets this defense right up there in the top 10 all season long.
Well, let me tell you this before we get to predictions. The Detroit Lions defense, they're ranked first in scoring defense, first in yards given up, and first in passing yards given up. That surprises me. Defense has never been the strongest for the Detroit Lions, mostly because of how quick they play offensively. The other team tends to get a lot of possessions. The fact that they are first in 3 major categories defensively just speaks loads to how good this Detroit Lions team is this year.
Yeah, they've really been solid all around. The big thing for me is I'm not really sure that they've played anybody that I'm too impressed with. But the big notes that I could take away from is that they did hold the Jets to 13 points. They did hold the 8-6 Falcons to 10 points. They did hold the 7-7 Patriots to 13 points. So when they do go against those 500 or so teams, those teams that are on the brink of coming into the playoffs, they're shutting them completely down, which gives them a good look for the playoffs, because that means those teams that are not completely powerful aren't really going to test them in the playoffs, and that way they can put all their focus on these top teams like the Giants, and that's what we're going to see tonight.
All right, Lip, we're about ready to send this out to the game. Let's get your prediction. Don't forget, folks, post your predictions in the chat. We'll be reading those out throughout the first quarter. Lip, playoff time coming around right now. Who do you like in this one? The Lions, the perennial dominant team. Are they going to get yet another win? Maybe a marquee win that gives them some confidence going to the playoffs? Or the New York Giants, a team who I think nobody really expected anything out of them, sitting at 10-3, going to get maybe that win that they've been looking for, win over a top team, and give them a boost heading into the playoffs.
Well, both of these offenses are pretty good. The Giants are at 31 points a game. The Lions are up there in the 30s as well. I like both offenses, but the thing for me tonight for the Giants is I need Marlon Petway to control the game for the Giants on the ground. And when Davis Webb makes the throws, I need him to be confident and accurate. I think that they are in a good position to compete with the Lions, but like I said, they've been a little inconsistent the last couple of weeks. That's why I'm giving the edge to the Lions. They're going to win 31-20 over the Giants.
Well, this should be an absolutely fantastic game here in week 15. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning into NBL Live and the NBL Network here on twitch.tv/NBL Network. But it is game time. Let's get this one underway. Coming up next, it's a battle between two of the top teams in the NFC, a potential NFC championship matchup we could see coming up in a few short weeks. It is the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants. It's coming up right now here on NBL Live.
My name is Rex Dixon.
Jake Stein.
Clint from EA Sports.
You're watching NBL.
You're watching the NBL Network. And you're watching the NBLN Network.
Empty backfield for Atkins. He's been dropping back to pass here on fourth down. He's looking deep over the middle. He has a man. It's Brandon Cooks who catches and makes a man miss.
Oh, that's
Woodard is dropping back. He's got open over the middle.
Wow. That big playmaker ability as he finds him again.
Into the end zone. Another touchdown. And we are live, NBL Live, broadcast number 216 here on the NBL Network. And do we have a doozy? Week 15 action. It is the New York Giants taking on the Detroit Lions. What a battle we have today. And we are grateful for all of you tuning into NBL Live. I'm OSU, man with my man, the co-commish, Lip. Doesn't get much better than this. We're week 15. We're getting down to the playoffs. We got two of the top teams. I got my ice-cold Pepsi. Wait, there it is. It's open, and we're ready to go.
Absolutely. This is huge because the Lions are still kind of fighting for their division in the NFC North. The Bears are 11-2-1. This is a big game for the Lions in that regard. The Giants, they have their division. They're just kind of playing for the seeding. Probably going to be number 1 or 2 seed. But this is a really big game for the Lions here. They need this win tonight.
Lip, there are a lot of teams in the NBL. You've seen, week 15, 16, 17, when they have stuff locked up, they play easy. I've never known that to be Ballmer and the Detroit Lions.
No, absolutely not. And even in their current position, they're not going to play light. They're going to attack, especially with the strong defense they have.
And up first and 10, it's going to be hand off to Marlon Petway over the right side. He'll get taken down after a short gain. Give him a long one. Going to bring up a 2nd and 9. Lip, how important is it for the New York Giants to have a good start, maybe get a touchdown or at least points on this opening drive?
It's big because you can't the field position game against the Lions is so important because they're so explosive and they can pick up big chunks of yard on any play. So you have to make them do that a couple of times a drive instead of just giving them the ball in the close to midfield range. You got to be able to have offense if you're the Giants.
And Davis Webb dropping back on 2nd and 9, looking deep down the middle of the field, and it's our player to watch coming up with his first catch on the day, Evan Ingram. Give him 23 yards, and Lip, it's going to be huge today for the Giants to find Ingram and to find Ben Stokes with Odell Beckham on the bench with an injury.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Davis Webb's going to have to rely on his run and play smart whenever he's passing. Really rely on those checkdowns, but also take hold of,
Petway around the right side.
I got excited. I love Petway. You remember the broadcast that we did a couple of seasons ago in the Super Bowl? We saw, or in the playoffs leading up to the Giants Super Bowl, we saw Petway take over. I love this guy.
He is. I think even how it's noticeable as he is now, he may be one of the most underrated running back here in the NBL. 2nd and inches, I formation, Petway at the top of the eye. Stokes split out to the left, Shepard split out to the right. Look for Sterling Shepard today. He's a guy that has a lot of chemistry with Davis Webb. As he drops back on 2nd and inches, throws it to the flat. It is complete to the fullback, Renew. Takes a big hit, but gets to the 37-yard line. They went to jump the route there, Lip, but when you miss on that one, you give up a big gain. 7 yards on the play and a first down for the Giants on the 37-yard line.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that teams don't do enough is utilize the fullback. Davis Webb did a great job right there.
Absolutely, a great play there, getting the big fella a catch. And this is going to be Marlon Petway over the right side, and got 3 yards on the play. That was an uncharacteristically, I want to say, a shaky run there by Petway. Great job by the offensive line, really opened up a big hole. Petway just didn't hit it.
Yeah, and that's not a mistake that you see from Petway a lot. He's going to get the ball quite a bit tonight, so I don't think we're going to see too many more mistakes like that from him.
Bunch formation, 3 to the right, 1 tight end on the left side. That is Ingram for the Giants, as Webb is in the pistol with Marlon Petway behind him, and it's going to be Webb dropping back to pass on 2nd and 7. Looking, and he looks underneath. He completes it to Sterling Shepard, who has a first down up past the first down marker to the 26-yard line. 3 for 3 to start this game, and Lip, he's thrown his first 3 passes to 3 different receivers.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We've seen 3 different kind of things there. We saw Ingram go down the field. We saw the utilization of the fullback in the flat, and then we saw a concept there to make the linebacker choose between the deep route tight end or the drag underneath. Great play so far by Davis Webb.
Big shout out to I Really Hate Mark for the bits. Appreciate all our cheers. Appreciate all of our followers and subscribers joining us tonight as our handoff to Marlon Petway and the Detroit Lions. We're ready for that counter play. Going to bring him down for a 2-yard loss. Going to bring up a 2nd and 12. And discipline on the edges, Lip, I think is one of the keys when you're trying to contain a guy like Marlon Petway.
And right now I'm already picking up kind of a tendency to run on first down. It's very early, but if the Lions pick up on that, it's game over for the Giants. They have to be able to pass on first down and pick up solid chunks of yardage.
Fellow Blitz in the chat asking, where is this Lions pass rush? It's 2nd and 12. Davis Webb, he's going to look to the flat once again as the second catch for the fullback Renew. Get up to the 24-yard line. Not a whole lot on the play, give him a 4, but just a very safe throw by Davis Webb, not trying to force anything and pick up the yards you can.
Yeah, and that's something that another team, the Chargers, do very well. They use that fullback quite a bit in the passing game that a lot of teams don't do, and that's good for picking up short yardage, getting completions, keeping the drives alive.
Now a 3rd and 8. See if they convert. It's Webb dropping back to pass. 3-man rush. Looking. Has a man over on the sidelines. It is Ingram with the catch, but he is short of the first down marker. Lip, a veteran in the NBL, not knowing where the sticks are, and it's a big play as they come up a yard short and are forced to settle for 3.
Yeah, we talked about how big he is in this offense with 56 receptions on the year, 700 yards. This guy knows that he has to get to the first down marker. He's just a yard shy, and that's not a smart play by the tight end there. All it takes is another step down the field, and you've got the time, you've got the space to pick up that first down and keep the drive going.
Now the Detroit Lions get to come back out and start. This is where you sort of get into trouble, Lip. We talk about the Lions, how good they are. It really does feel like if you only get a field goal on your drive, you're behind the clock with these Lions that can score touchdowns so easily.
It just all depends on how this Giants defense plays. They can rattle Rodgers here early on, but the biggest thing is that they got points on that opening drive, which is so much better than a punt.
Yeah, absolutely. 1st and 10 for Aaron Rodgers in the shotgun. You have no idea how hard it was for me not to just say Matt Stafford. As Rodgers in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the left, 1 to the right as he drops back to pass on 1st and 10. Looking deep down the middle of the field, has a man, and it is complete down to the 50-yard line. Rodgers throwing an absolute dot, splitting the safeties, and a big catch for the big tight end, Kalen Cooper. He has turned into that number 1 tight end that Aaron Rodgers loves to throw to.
Yeah, and that's a guy that learned from Rob Gronkowski in Detroit here. And that's just a great route. Splitting the cover 2 safeties. Rodgers finds him, makes the catch. Big first down for the Lions to start the game.
3 wide receivers should have left, 1 to the right for Aaron Rodgers. He is in the shotgun formation right at the midfield line. Man coming in motion. And on 1st and 10, he's going to drop back to pass. Looking, waiting, looks underneath. It is incomplete. An uncharacteristically dangerous throw. And Lip, that looks like it is Montgomery down on the ground after taking a hit, clutching his shoulder. He's a big part of this Lions offense.
Yeah, very underrated tool that this Lions offense has. That's a big loss. Hopefully he's able to come back in this game.
We need to call him in tool. 2nd and 10 as Rodgers rolling out to the right side, waiting, launching, and has a man, and it's complete. It's going all the way. It looked like he was going to get caught, but no siree, to the end zone. Touchdown Lions. Aaron Rodgers doing what Aaron Rodgers does, throwing absolute dots down the field.
Yeah, and that's a huge advantage to having Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback. Matt Stafford was a great quarterback for the Detroit Lions, but his inability to consistently make throws down the field on the run it was a big thing why he was let go. When they saw Rodgers in free agency, they brought him in for that exact reason right there. Huge play, touchdown, Detroit Lions.
And now it's going to be the New York Giants needing to respond after the Lions did exactly what we said they'd do. They score quickly. They can get touchdowns. This return just short of the 25 to the 24-yard line. Really a solid drive from Davis Webb and the Giants last time. Should have had the first down. Evan Ingram just not having that field awareness you need, and they end up settling for 3.
Yeah, those are the things that they've got to be a little more mentally prepared. Just know where you're at on the field. Davis Webb's made good throws and good reads so far. Just need to clean up some of those things in this drive.
Shotgun formation. Webb's going to drop back to pass on 1st and 10. 3-man rush. Looking underneath. That's picked off the entire way. It was the user, and he's going to take this one to the house. Touchdown, Lions. Oh, boy. Nick Kwiatkowski with the pick. Who doesn't love a little Nick pick and a touchdown for the Lions?
Right there's that defense that nobody's really talking about. Coming up with such an athletic play. Just really standing still, watching that guy coming across the field. As soon as he crossed his face, he ran with him and was able to not just stay with him, but pick up a step on the crossing receiver, jump in front of the pass, and then take it to the house for a touchdown. When you're getting defensive touchdowns with your offense as powerful as it is, it's going to be extremely difficult to keep up here for the Giants.
Well, you could say not the start the Giants were looking for, as they had an opportunity to get 7 on their first drive. They settled for a field goal. And on the first play of their second drive, a pick 6 to the Lions, 14-3-year score. Nice return here all the way up past the 30 to the 33-yard line. But now that Giants team is behind the 8 ball, and the last thing you want to do here, Lip, is give the ball back to the Detroit Lions with an 11-point lead.
Yeah, the thing that I think will help this offense out is if they spread this defense out. Right now, you've seen them be in tight 2-3 wide receiver sets. Spread this defense out. You're going to be able to find a hole. Just make the right read at that moment, and you'll be fine.
Shotgun formation for Davis Webb. He drops back to pass on 1st and 10. Waiting, looks to the corner route. It is complete to Sterling Shepard to the 49-yard line. But Lip, I'm surprised we're not getting a more steady dose of Marlon Petway.
Yeah, that's the guy that can really grind it out on the ground and keep drives moving at a pace that keeps the Lions offense off the field, which kind of messes with their consistency and their ability to come out and have those big plays. So I want to see him get into the offense a lot more. 1st and
10 play action pass for Davis Webb, dropping back, looking over to the left side. It is complete to Kelly. Shake and bake up to the 42-yard line, just short of the first down marker. Davis Webb, 7 of 8 to start this game. Looked perfect, except for one bad throw that really has made the New York Giants hurt right now.
Yeah, and that was kind of late, that interception. The defender made a great athletic play to catch up, and Davis Webb's got to pull the trigger a little quicker on that. But like I said, I want to see them spread the field out more. They're going really short here early on. Spread the field out and stretch the ball down the field.
2nd and 1, 3 wide receivers for Davis Webb. And on 2nd down, he's going to drop back to pass. Blitz coming up the middle. He looks over to the dig route. He finds Sterling Shepard, makes a man miss. He's up to the 25-yard line, trying to spin through the tackle, get to the 23-yard line. Sterling Shepard, this is a guy who on NBL Live has had a couple big games, getting up there in age, but clearly has chemistry with Davis Webb.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the guy that's been here such a long time. He knows his quarterback. He knows the offense. And he has been really underrated over the years.
3 wide receivers once again for Davis Webb. 2 to the left, 1 over to the right side. As Webb drops back to pass on 1st and 10. Waiting. Looks underneath, and that one, maybe a little bit of the nerves throwing that drag route underneath in man coverage. The coverage was pretty good. He had a step, but I think Webb right there, maybe trying to be a little too fine and make sure he doesn't throw another pick.
Yeah, that was kind of a haunting throw from the interception that he threw for a touchdown. He did not want to get too close to the defender and just overthrew it.
2nd and 10, Shepard coming to motion, he drops back to pass, waiting on 2nd down, throws it over there, boy. Lip, that's one of the throws you're going to look back on and go, Davis, what were you thinking? How did you not get hurt worse by that? There was nobody open over there. There appeared to be 3 Lions, and if it weren't for a little bit of stone hands in the secondary, this one's going the other way.
Yeah, you don't see him dropping those passes too often, but you had 1 defender in the middle of the field and at least 2, maybe 3 routes there to make that defender make a choice, and you just weren't patient enough to allow him to make a decision so you can make the read, and you force it into coverage. Big lucky break there for the Giants.
Yeah, and now big 3rd and 10 as he waits on 3rd down. Waiting. He's going to have to dump this off to the flat. Ingram trying to make a play, but too many guys over there, and once again, Lip, a bad play by a veteran at this point. This time it was Davis Webb. I mean, those was 2 really bad throws. One an inaccurate throw, one a bad decision. And once again, they're settling for a field goal. Points are good, but against this Lions team who you're already down 11-2, this feels like a loss for the Giants.
Yeah, and so far in this game, there's 14 points on the board for the Lions, and that's come from 2 plays. The one amazing play by Rodgers on offense, and then the pick 6 on defense. So the Giants, they're not getting completely handled right now. They've made some mistakes. They've got to play a little better. But 6 points is better. It's better than nothing. But right now, this is a big moment. You're starting the 2nd quarter here. If the Lions come out and hit one of those big plays that they're very capable of doing because of all their talent, then you're going to look around at yourself and wonder what you could do differently, because it's not going to be able to sustain a win tonight.
Yeah, the Giants defense is going to have to step up big against one of the most potent offenses in the NBL. As Aaron Rodgers comes out, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, Beckham split to the left, Beekman out to the right. No Montgomery as he is out, dislocated shoulder, will be out for a couple weeks. He's on 1st and 10, little counter play. And great job in the backfield, bringing down Le'Veon Bell, coming over to Detroit in the offseason. Lip, a guy who they're hoping to shore up that run game. But at the end of the day, this is still just a pass-first Detroit Lions team.
Yeah, and Bell had a hole there. He had a guy in the hole, but it was a defensive end. I think he could have made miss. Just trying to do too much there.
Rodgers looking, rolling out to the right side. Deep shot, has a man. It's complete. Who else but Harvey Beckham? And he's in open space. And you give Harvey Beckham open space. You pay for it. Touchdown Lions as Harvey Beckham does what he does best. He turns on the afterburners and leaves the Giants in the dust.
Absolutely great play design there. You've got Harvey Beckham coming to the right side of the field. The right wide receiver pushes the right corner down the field. And whenever HB gets the play, gets the ball in his hands, he just makes one move, and then he's got way too much speed to be able to catch him. You have to get pressure on Rodgers to avoid that, because those take a little bit of time to develop. We've seen them twice now, but the Giants have just been killed on both of them.
Yeah, not only do you have to get pressure on Rodgers, which the Giants haven't been able to do, you have to be sound in the secondary with tackling, Lip, and so far the 2 touchdowns, they have all been on missed tackles. There's been opportunity to bring them down. Nobody has been that wide open. It just comes down to, if you miss your tackle against this wide receiver core, you're going to pay for it.
Yeah, and now this is a big moment for the Giants. You can't go field goal for touchdown anymore, because the Lions already have 21 points here just to start the 2nd quarter. You keep making these mistakes and trading touchdowns for field goals, you're going to put yourself in a giant hole, and then you become one-dimensional, and that's not going to get it done against a great defense and an even powerful offense.
Well, yeah, now you got to play this this game you don't want to get into, which is a shootout with the Lions. If there's one of the teams that can do it, it is the Giants, who have a very potent offense. Is this a hand up to Marlon Petway on 1st down? Look at that. Marlon Petway getting 9 yards, only his 5th carry on the day. Maybe a little bit of confidence shook by the fact that the Lions were able to stop him on a couple of runs, but he is still such a potent guy, you've got to get him the ball.
Yeah, right there. Slade, he's a big defensive tackle. I think he's about 475. And Petway was able to drag him for a couple more yards. That's why Petway is so powerful and so strong and such an asset to the Giants.
2nd and 2, stretch run for Marlon Petway. Maybe a little predictable there, as they obviously looking to run it on 2nd down. No sort of misdirection or anything. Loss of 1. It's going to bring up a huge 3rd and 3. Lip, a conversion here is crucial for the New York Giants.
Yeah, and right now I'm seeing the Giants' play calling is kind of right in line with what the defense is calling. The defense is very aggressive right now. And when they go aggressive, the Giants go conservative. It's just not matching up really well right now.
3rd and 3, dropping back as Webb looks over the middle of the field, has Evan Ingram with another big catch, and Lip, that is where Ingram is his most effective. 3rd and short, 3rd and medium, they need a conversion, they need to get it to somebody who can catch the ball and make the safe play, and Evan Ingram did that right there.
Yeah, that linebacker is kind of kicking himself right now because he knew that dig was coming from the tight end. Just wasn't able to get over there quick enough.
And on 1st and 10, Webb looking over the middle, looking for Moffitt. The coverage very tight. And I've been impressed so far, the man coverage by the Detroit Lions. Lots of athleticism in the secondary, lots of good technique. You're not seeing too many open receivers for this Giants receiving corps. That is very athletic.
Yeah, and that play right there, you didn't have any options against man coverage, really. You didn't wait long enough for anything to develop. You tried to hit a seam down the middle, just not going to get it done against a man blitz.
Another stretch play from Marlon Petway, who cuts it back up the middle, is able to make a little bit out of that one to the 38-yard line. So far, Lip, it does sort of feel like the Detroit Lions just have too much speed for this offensive line and this wide receiver core. There's just too much of that raw speed that they're able to beat these defenders on the edge and also stay with them in man coverage.
Yeah, and the defense of the Lions is built to defend against these two wide receiver sets that the Giants are just giving them all day. Like I said, the Giants need to spread this defense out. They're athletic, but if you spread them out with your athleticism, it's a much better matchup than these two wide receiver sets they've been rolling with so far tonight.
Man, there's another one of the two tight ends, two wide receivers. Quick throw out to the outside. It is B. Stokes. First time we've called his name, and Lip, this is a guy who he was hurt for a little bit this year. It just seems like Webb and Stokes, we saw a lot from them early in Ben Stokes' career. He doesn't find them a whole lot anymore, relying more on Ingram and Beckham.
Yeah, and that's something I really don't understand because Stokes really does remind me of Martavis Bryant. Just a long, fast, freak kind of guy, just kind of underutilized at times.
Another nice throw there by Davis Webb, finding Evan Ingram for another first down. They're up to the 32-yard line. Lip, it's got to be concerning, though, for the Giants. They've had two drives so far that have gotten into enemy territory. They haven't found a way to get a touchdown on either of them. And once again, they're going to come out pistol formation. It's going to be a handoff to Marlon Petway. He's going to cut it right up the middle. He'll get a nice gain on first down to the 27-yard line. Give him 5 on the play. Going to cut it back to a 2nd and 5.
The big thing right now in the run game is that whenever Stokes gets up to one of his blockers, the defense is getting off those blocks very easily. And it's not allowing for him to pick up that many yardages on carries. So you got to figure out some kind of way to block a little bit better for Petway.
And they're going to hand it off to Petway. Once again, cuts it right up the middle, has a first down, and more up to the 16-yard line. That is where Marlon Petway is most impressive to me. Not only does he find a way to hit the hole, he hits it with such aggression that he turns that play, that hole was not open very long. He managed to get 11 on that.
Yeah, the big thing about him is that he people talk about him being like Le'Veon Bell, always falling forward, and that's a huge asset whenever you're running the ball and having a running back that can do that. You see that right there.
As Davis Webb's going to be under center on 1st and 10, driving back to pass, waiting, looking, looks over to the back of the end zone, and toe tapping catch on the sidelines. Oh my, how pretty was that footwork from Big Evan Ingram, showing off the dancer and him, toes on the line, touchdown Giants.
That's exactly what the Giants needed right there, a touchdown. The middle of the field's all clogged up with those safeties staying there in the middle. And Ingram's able to get out there on a linebacker. He's much more athletic than that, and he's able to break away. Beautiful toe-tapping touchdown for the Giants.
Absolute dot from Davis Webb to Evan Ingram to put their first touchdown on the board and respond to the big play by Harvey Beckham. 21-13 your score. And Lip, I guess here's the question. I mean, how do you defend against this Lions team? They are so explosive. The Giants, just inherently from throwing that pick six, they're behind on the clock. They're going to need to get a stop or two against this Lions team.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how you defend against the Lions, but the Giants, I think they have to start with trying to get some pressure. I don't think you can do it in man blitzes because of Harvey Beckham, just so explosive, but you got to get something to get a little more pressure on Rodgers.
Rodgers back on 1st and 10, looking over the left side, quick out route complete. Right there, some good tackling on Harvey Beckham, bringing him down at the 39-yard line. It's a first down, 4 of 5, 169 yards so far for Aaron Rodgers and 2 touchdowns. Same old for Aaron Rodgers and the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, and that's really tough right there. You go with cover one man. He's going to beat you all day in man coverage. So some zone blitzes are going to have to be the key, but you've got to be able to get there and apply pressure to Rodgers.
Well, and they're going to have to use her on some of those speedy wide receivers on the outside. It's on 1st and 10. It's Le'Veon Bell on the outside, and he's going to get up to the 46-yard line. A nice gain on the play. Bell coming over from Pittsburgh. Very familiar with Mr. Le'Veon Bell. Had success in Pittsburgh. Still trying to find his way out in Detroit.
Yeah, and Bell has so much that he can bring to the table. And going to a team that passes so well fits him so nice. Because he's such a good receiver and as well as a good runner. So this is a great offense for him to be in.
736 yards so far, 9 touchdowns for Le'Veon Bell in the season, averaging 5.5 per carry. As Aaron Rodgers looks underneath, it is complete, and it's going to be a first down up to the 46-yard line. Nice safe throw from A-Rod. And once again, we're seeing no pressure coming from the defensive line. The New York Giants are going to have to start bringing some of those linebackers in to try to get to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, there has to be something to change right there. Rodgers had all day to wait for that linebacker to make his decision and just hit the open guy, picks up yards, keep the drive alive.
Hand off to Le'Veon Bell, trying to get something to go, but only 3 yards on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 7 as we are nearing halftime here. 21-13 your score. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning into NBL Live Broadcast 216 here on the NBL Network. I am OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, Lip. As we've got a great battle, and a reminder, folks, we will be having games not only throughout the regular season. We got 2 more weeks left. We're going to bring you the best playoff matchups, but we'll be broadcasting every round of the playoffs. You don't want to miss that. It should be a great show here on the NBL Network. It is a lot of fun here during playoff time. As Aaron Rodgers dropping back, look deep down the middle of the field, looking for the tight end, Cooper, and he has the catch at the 21-yard line. No stopping the seam as nobody came over to even put any sort of contact on Kalen Cooper. Comes up with his 2nd catch of the day.
I think this is a really dangerous time for the Giants because I think the Lions are going to get the ball to start the second half. If they score here with not a lot of time left on the clock and get the ball to start the second half, oh boy, is it going to be tough for the Giants.
Rut-row time for the Giants. As look at the Lions. They are content to just sort of use as much clock as they can. They use their first time out there with 25 seconds to go. Lions indeed getting the ball to start the second half. They're already up 8. The Giants, let's say best case scenario, they get some sort of turnover, but they really just need to force a field goal. Giving up another touchdown and then giving the Lions the ball back could spell doom for this Giants team. As on 2nd and 10, empty backfield for Aaron Rodgers. A lot of shifting in the defense for the New York Giants. As it's going to be the man coming in motion, that is Le'Veon Bell. They're setting up either a screen or the fake screen, and it is the actual screen. Nobody open, but it's the slant over the middle. Oh, it's caught up to the 8-yard line. Another first down. Lip, I know how much you love those sort of plays out in Pittsburgh. The screen passes that has at least one other route running, and right there, that was run to perfection. The man coverage cut off the screen, but they couldn't handle the slant route on the left side.
It's always nice to have at least 2 options, and you have such confidence in both options. I saw a linebacker on Harvey Beckham, and if that was an actual pass play down the field, that was a touchdown all day, but they took away the screen. The slant comes across from the left, and it's wide open. Just one of those plays that had great design and great execution.
And it looks like they're setting up a cross screen to the other side. It is caught. But look at Landon Collins in the backfield bringing down the man catching the screen. Lions forced to use their last time out. That was Tavon Wilson with the catch. But Landon Collins showing off why he is one of the best defenders in the NBL.
Yeah, I do believe he's at 12 or 13 interceptions so far in the year. Having a great year, but so far not really showing up in this game. The Lions have just done whatever they wanted to the Giants defense. That's a star for the Giants, and he's got to be able to come up with some bigger plays, make more of an impact in this huge NFC game. 13
interceptions for Landon Collins on the year, leading the league. One of the best defenders here in the NBL. 2nd and goal, pistol formation for Aaron Rodgers. As he drops back to pass on 2nd down, waiting, looking, trying to find some room. Chucks it to the back of the end zone. That one just looked like a throwaway through the back, and with 7 seconds left, you've got to expect the Lions are probably going to just kick the field goal here.
Yeah, I thought that they were going to, that last play had to go to the end zone. Aaron Rodgers is such a smart, intelligent player, throws the ball to the back of the end zone, takes the points, and then like we talked about, the Lions are going to get the ball to start the second half, and that does not look good for these Giants.
Do get a field goal to extend their lead back to 11, 24-13. Giants going to get an opportunity here to return the kick, and then we will hit halftime. The Lions, again, getting that ball to start the second half. But playing without Montgomery, who was out with a dislocated shoulder, suffered in the first quarter. So their one receiver down. It hasn't slowed down this Detroit Lions offense, though, as this kick is away. It's going to be taken by Kelly at the 5-yard line, up past the 10 to the 15 to the 20-yard line. He'll be taken down. Flag, though. It's going to be a face mask on the play. That'll give him a free play. Yeah, they look like they just want to chuck this bad boy up and see if they can make a play.
I mean, this is an opportunity. I know a couple guys that would go with a wildcat play right here, but costly penalty for the Lions. But in the situation right now at the 30-yard line, the 38-yard line, doesn't really look like it's going to cost them. But the Giants do have an opportunity.
They have an opportunity, maybe looking for another sort of penalty, a pass interference down the field, something like that.
We've seen it before.
It's happened before. It's not another one possibility. as they're going to hand it off to Pedway on the jet sweep. I'm not really sure why the camera angle stayed that high, but he gets 10 yards, and we'll get to halftime. 24-13. The problem is, Lip, you're down 11 to the Lions. The Lions are getting the ball. It doesn't feel like you're down 11. It feels like you're down 30.
Yeah, the way the efficiency of the Lions on offense so far has just it's got to be deflating if you're the Giants, because they've come out and Rodgers was, I think, 4 for 4 or 4 for 5 with 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's pretty impressive. So when you're the Giants looking at that, you have to come up with some kind of adjustment that applies pressure to Rodgers. So you cannot allow them to just go down the field and put up another touchdown.
Yeah, if Aaron Rodgers gets too much time in the pocket, he can pick apart your defense. He has done that so far, making no mistakes. 24-13, Lions on top. And it's going to be Aaron Rodgers under center, 2 wide receivers. Once again, Le'Veon Bell in the backfield for Aaron Rodgers. We've hit the third quarter. He's going to flip the play, put in the tight end.
Here.
And they are showing that man blitz. Let's see if they can beat it with this run. As Le'Veon Bell gets to the outside, he's got some room. A great block down the field. And Bell's got room. He's up to the 40. He's to the 30. He's to the 20. He's to the 10. Ring the bell. Touchdown, Lions.
That's one of those plays. They tried to come out and get pressure, but there's so many guys tight inside the hash marks, tight in the box. Le'Veon Bell is going to bounce that outside and take it all the way every single time. It's a tough call for the Giants there, but the Lions are firing on all cylinders. And right there, one play again, and they've already got 31 points on the board.
And they didn't even have to pass it there. Look, that's what's scary about this team.
Terrifying.
By signing Le'Veon Bell, this is a team that has never really had a running game. And now they've got a guy in Le'Veon Bell who can provide them with a running game on his own.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And the thing is, he's really good in the run game, but he also is able to go out and catch passes as a wide receiver out of the backfield. He can do so much, and that just adds another layer to an already amazing offense in Detroit.
Well, I don't know what you do if you are the New York Giants. Update on our bonus coverage game right now. A lot of people ask about that one as the Lions have broken up a big lead. Our bonus coverage game, we have the Jets and the Bengals. Jets right now up 28-6 at the 2-minute warning. Bengals are driving. As it's going to be Davis Webb dropping back. It's over the left side, complete to Ben Stokes, but Stokes cannot hang on to it through the contact.
There is the Martavis Bryant quality in Stokes that I don't want to talk about a lot. Martavis Bryant's had some issues with drops over the years, and there's Stokes right there. This team needs something, and they can't have drops right there to start the drive. Now they're in 2nd and 10. It's just been a tough go on the offensive side for the Giants so far.
Davis Webb dropping back on 2nd down, waiting, looking. He's got to step up in the pocket. Instead, he gets hit, throws it out to the fullback. Renew can't come up with the catch through the contact. That's the play. Davis Webb does have that propensity to drop all the way back. He had a big hole on that left side. He's got to step up in the pocket and make a better throw.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I've talked about, I do not like these 2 wide receiver sets. They keep on coming out in them. They're trying to use the fullback too much now. I liked it at the beginning, but now you're in the hole. Get away from the fullback.
As good as he is, it's a throw underneath, complete to Sterling Shepard. He's going to get the first down. Lions coming out. Looked like a cover 3 of some sort. And that is just no good against those underneath routes. And Sterling Shepard able to use his speed, get around the edge, and pick up a huge first down for the Giants.
Yeah, I like it. I like that they picked up the first down, but once again, they are just going underneath way too much. Too much short stuff, not enough spread stuff. I'm not sure where they're expecting to pick up a lot of yardage on these plays.
1st and 10. Webb dropping back once again, looking over to Ingram, who makes the catch through coverage. Oh, man, there were about 5 blue jerseys over there. Webb put a pass right on the money, and Ingram took the big hit and came up with the catch at the 44-yard line.
That was great patience there by Webb, because Ingram broke off that route. He was open. A linebacker kind of drifted back in that throwing lane just a little too quick, but he was able to come up and make a nice play.
And Webb now stepping up, and he takes what he can get to the 38-yard line, 6 yards. Davis Webb might have NBL Live on in his ears, as that's the first time we've seen him step up. It was a huge play as he's able to cut it down to a 2nd and 4.
I'm still just not enjoying how they aren't really going with the spread attack. More so now in this play coming up. I just want to see Davis Webb take control of this game.
2nd and 4 for Davis Webb, driving back, pump fake, waiting, looking deep down the field, has a man, it's Ben Stokes. He's going to get a face mask down inside the 15 to put him at the 7 as Ben Stokes making the big play. Oh, what a throw by Davis Webb, what a route. by Ben Stokes. Coming up with the big plays with OBJ down with an injury.
That was a good throw, but man, there was a matchup there on Kelly, I think, at wide receiver. He just got absolutely kicked around at the line of scrimmage. He never got 2 yards down the field because he was completely manhandled off the jump. But great patience by Webb to find the open guy.
First and goal, empty backfield for Davis Webb in the shotgun. He's got 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. 2 wide receivers on each side. Is on first and goal. Waiting, looking. Throws it to Evan Ingram. He went for the possession catch there. Maybe not the moment for the possession catch.
That's the second time we've seen Ingram make a kind of questionable move right there after he catches the ball. The first time he went out of bounds before the first down, and right there he possession catches it. Could have easily just took a step back into the end zone, but just not good enough. Hand
off to Marlon Petway, who can't get to the end zone. As no, folks, that is not a truck. No, folks, that is not a house in the middle of the field. That's Gianni Slade Christic with the tackle, but Slade clogging everything up, much like the arteries I assume he has in his body.
Absolutely. Slade's just a giant human being. I would not want to run.
Like, are you
I don't
sure?
know. He's something.
He might be 94% orc, as the handoff to Marlon Petway goes nowhere. 1 yard line, you end up trying to run some sort of lead dive. Not a play call you're looking for inside the 1 yard line.
Yeah, and the way they haven't been able to run the ball so far tonight, running right up the middle at that monster of a man, Gianni Slade, just not the best thing, but they do get a field goal. But that's been the theme of the night, Giants kicking field goals, and that's why they're in a hole right now.
Yeah, the field goal to touchdown trade just doesn't go well at any point. It really doesn't go well against this Detroit Lions team. 31-16 nonetheless. It's a 2-score game. Giants defense going to have to step up in a big way, as this is just a cluster of a return. I didn't like any part of that, but it is a touchback nonetheless. And while we have a moment here in the third quarter, I want to give a big thanks once again to our graphic sponsor and pregame sponsor, Web3KS.com. A big shout out to all business over there, offering a great deal to all of our listeners. If you mention MBL, you'll get a 15% discount on your entire order at Web3KS.com. They do great graphic design. Web3KS.com has been a sponsor of NBL for a while, has been a friend of the NBL network for a very long time. And they're a big reason why our graphics and our broadcasts look as good as they do.
Yeah, absolutely. Such a long-standing relationship with them. The big thing that I hear from people is that the things that All Business makes, they're really easy to use, really easy for you to edit and change, and they look amazing. So great stuff there.
A little PAFK quick, and it's going to be a first down as we see another missed tackle in the secondary. And Harvey Beckham's able to get up to the 40-yard line. Yeah, look, that's an underrated part of Web3KS.com. As somebody who's not a Photoshop expert, he sets those up so easily to use that even a dummy like me can find a way to make a graphic look good.
Yeah, and that's a thing that I hear a lot from all of our guys in the NBL, and that's why we continue to use them, because it's such a user-friendly thing, and they do such a great job with setting it up for everybody.
2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Aaron Rodgers. Le'Veon Bell in the backfield, 2:44 and counting here in the third quarter. Rodgers dropping back to pass, looks over to the left side. It is complete once again to Harvey, backing up to the 47-yard line. Boy, no pressure from the Giants, even when they're blitzing. It's hard to be optimistic about their chances.
Yeah, and it's still a confusing kind of blitzer, because you have 4 up front, and then you have a linebacker coming in delayed. You have 3 guys underneath in coverage and 3 guys over top. You can't take Harvey Beckham away. Even with a guy underneath and a guy over top. It's confusing to me.
Now on, it looks like 1st and 10. They're going to come out 2 wide receivers once again. Rodgers dropping back to pass. Blitz coming. It's picked up perfectly. It's lobbed down, and Landon Collins can't come up with a pick. Boy, that's the first real bad throw. Rodgers had no business making that one. Landon Collins needed to make that pick, though. That could have been their opportunity to get back in this game.
Yeah, like I said, it seems like he's having kind of an off night, because he hasn't really been involved. He made a nice tackle on a screen play, and then that right there, he could have made a better play, put his team in good position, but just not having the best night there.
Update on the bonus coverage game. 28-6, Jets on top in the second half. That one, the Jets looking like they're going to run away with that one. 31-16, your score here on NBL Live Broadcast 216. I'm OSU. I'm hanging with my man, Lip. Appreciate each and every one of you tuning in to NBL Live on this lovely evening. We hope your Sunday is going well, and your week is looking like it's going to be a good one. 2nd and 10 for Aaron Rodgers, 4 wide receivers out there. On 2nd down, he's going to hand it off to Le'Veon Bell's got some room, breaks a tackle. He gets a first down up to the 36-yard line, and Lip, if there are 2 things I can point to as the reasons why the New York Giants are losing this game, It is their inability to get pressure on Aaron Rodgers and the poor tackling we have seen from the Giants defense.
Yeah, and that was one of those times where the offense matched up so well against the defense. Defense put all their guys back deep into the secondary and just let Le'Veon Bell walk all over them.
Now Rodgers dropping back. He's going to get hit. The first time we've seen any sort of pressure. So Rodgers gets hit as he's thrown. Only it looked like that's a five-man rush. It's an interesting little blitz. Maybe that's what the Giants need to do, Lip, is mix up the blitzes, have some linebackers and some linemen coming from different sides so Rodgers can't see it as easily and the offensive line can't match up as easily.
I think that's going to get them in some trouble because that play right there, they had 3 routes going straight down the field. It's the perfect thing to be defended by man coverage. You get a slant or something with Harvey Beckham, it's touchdown.
And what a catch there through a big hit. Travis Kelce getting laid out. It looked like, that was Reggie Ragland with the big hit, and Kelce hangs on to the ball through the big hit.
That's just another part of the Lions why they're better than the Giants tonight. They're not dropping passes, even whenever they're thrown in front of freight trains like that.
And now a big moment for the Giants defense, trying to get off the field here on 3rd and 5. Minute 36 to go. Ball on the 30-yard line. Shotgun formation for Aaron Rodgers. He takes the snap on 3rd down. Waiting, looking, lobs it, finds him. Big hit made, but it just doesn't matter. As another big catch by the Detroit Lions through another big hit by the New York Giants. The Lions hit the first down at the 14-yard line. These tight ends, Cooper and Kelce, coming up with the big catches.
Yeah, you can just tell that the Lions are focused. They're watching the ball into their hands. They're putting it away. Just coming up with all of the right catches and not letting the defenders pop that ball out, even with all of these big hits.
3 wide receivers, 1 tight end. That is Cooper in the slot on the right side. He's going to move Tucker over to the left side. Evening out the formation. Le'Veon Bell to the right of Aaron Rodgers in the shotgun. He's going to get the carry over the left side. He has some room up to the 10-yard line. Runs right into Landon Collins as Bell almost has 100 yards rushing. And the Lions are going to hurry back to the line. Try to get a quick touchdown. Keep the Giants on their heels. 42 seconds and counting. In the third quarter, it's another shotgun formation for Aaron Rodgers with Le'Veon Bell to his left. Cooper's going to come back into the backfield, putting 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 over to the left side. So we hand off to Le'Veon Bell. Little draw play, takes a big hit, doesn't matter. He's got the first down at the 4-yard line. Bell over 100 yards on the day.
The Giants' defense is turned on the hit stick right now. They've just been laying some giant hits, and the ball security for the Giants is absolutely amazing. Catching the ball, holding on to the ball with Le'Veon Bell running, just not going to make mistakes, and that's been the difference.
And why not give it to Le'Veon Bell? What a cut by Bell! Touchdown, Lions! No crack in this bell. Ring it again. Le'Veon Bell finds the end zone for the second time today.
That is unbelievable right there. He was going to the left, just stops on a dime to the right. There's nobody there to protect against it, and it's a touchdown for the Detroit Lions.
38-16, Lions on top. 5 seconds to go in the third quarter. This is the tough part about playing the Lions. The Lions just don't give you enough opportunities to take advantage of them. You play other teams, you might get a couple opportunities, whether it's a bad throw to make a pick, whether it's a fumble. The Lions just don't make mistakes, and therefore to beat them, you do really have to play just about a perfect game.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The Giants have come out. They've really played into the Detroit Lions' defensive strong suit with the 2 wide receiver sets. They haven't been able to spread the ball out. They haven't been able to run the ball, which was the big thing. You have to control the clock, control the game with Petway on the ground, and they haven't done that at all. And then the Lions on offense just completely freight trained the Giants' defense all night long.
Yeah, and the Giants have been settling for field goals on 1st and 10. Webb looking down the middle of the field. Diving catch by Sterling Shepard at the 49-yard line as we go to halftime. 30. This game just out of hand. It's 38-16. The New York Giants needing some sort of miracle to get back into this game. And the tough part is the Giants really haven't played bad. Defensively, it has not been a good game. But offensively, the Giants have done what they can. They've just had to settle for field goals.
Yeah, just one big mistake as far as turnovers, but it's just not the field goals. The field goals have been killing them.
I'd like to point out, Davis Webb, 19 completions on the day. 9 of them to Evan Ingram, who's up over 100 yards on the day. We talked about him in the pregame. Ingram has come to play under the bright lights of NBL Live.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think that could be a bad thing because he's been mostly the check down, and that's what we've said was his role, and that's what they've done tonight with him. They haven't really got a whole lot going other than that.
Webb dropping back. Webb's going to take the sack there as Christic and Slade convening on Davis Webb. And Lip, as you know, that is over 900 pounds of man there laying on top of Davis Webb, who must feel like a two-dimensional cartoon.
Yeah, I would not want my quarterback taking any kind of hit from Slade just because of the sheer mass that the man brings with him whenever he's running downhill at the quarterback.
Fun fact, if you guys didn't know this, when they talk about Superman, he's faster than a speeding bullet, he can stop a train. The train is actually Gianni Slade. Fun fact, as he barrels down the tracks. As that's not going to be a first down for the New York Giants. They get up near the first down mark. Got to think they're going to go for it here on 4th and 1. Sterling Shepard's sick catch on the day. Doesn't seem like the offense has missed Odell Beckham, except for the fact that they really haven't had any deep plays go for any sort of success.
Yeah, and that could be the big thing that we're kind of missing here tonight. They haven't really stretched the field, and not because they don't have that incredible route runner, deep threat down the field in OBJ. It's just been a lot of short stuff that I'm not a big fan of, not a lot of spread stuff. It's been tough for the Giants without him.
Marlon Petway picking up the first down. Bobadon in the chat saying, isn't 900 pounds lethal? Yes. And it's even more lethal when Gianni Slade is roughly 785 pounds of the 900. His weight has gone up incrementally. I think we started talking about how he's
200 pounds in offseason.
Yeah, he's just a massive man. That's on 1st and 10. Davis Webb dropping back, waiting. Wow, great protection. Webb's going to take off. He finds a way through the pocket, has a first down, up to the 15. Trying to find some room. He gets a block, and he runs out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Yeah, that was disappointing. But what a run. But Davis, know where the sideline is. I mean, nothing to say on that one. You got nothing. As Davis, he just sort of wandered.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just waiting for him to take a big hit. I was terrified for the man.
I think Webb was just surprised he didn't take the big hit, as that pass is incomplete underneath. I think that's why he ran out of bounds. I think he was expecting to get hit. He made one cut around a defender. He got a block downfield. He was like, wait a second, I'm still alive?
Yeah, and now that puts them in a bad situation here on the 2. They haven't been able to run the ball. You can't run the ball up the middle with Slade, and you can't throw to the middle of the field. You got to get something on the outside, maybe short. It's going to be tough.
Well, they're going to hand off to Marlon Petway over the right side. He'll fight up for a yard. It's going to bring up another 3rd and goal. I'm surprised they haven't tried getting Marlon Petway on the edge more, Lip, because that would be the success here on the goal line.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw earlier on, he ran right up the middle and was absolutely destroyed. Just hasn't been a whole lot on the outside for him, which is a big question from this offense.
Petway goes down with an injury. We'll hopefully for the Giants.
So much of that was bad.
As you saw, that pause in the beginning was me trying to wrap my head around where to start. You know the lines are going to be hard flatting. You know you're running a one route play, and then Marlon Petway takes a big hit. They're lucky it wasn't intercepted, but I think they would rather be intercepted than Petway to go down.
Yeah, it's tough there because, like you said, there's only one option, and you have to throw it or you have to just kind of eat it, and you can't do either in that situation.
Quick 3-step drop, throws to the back of the end zone, complete to Ben Stokes. So here's what I've determined. The New York Giants have success, Lip, when they just think it's 4th down because they've converted 2 of them on this drive. Maybe they should just, pretend it's 4th down all the time.
Yeah, and Ben Stokes there coming up with a big catch. Leading them right into the middle of the field against a linebacker. I thought that he might have another drop there, but comes up with a big catch. And now, there's a little bit of life for the Giants.
Looking, trying to get this 2-point conversion rolling. This is not going well. Davis. Oh, it was a misplay. Oh, Webb's going to get to the end zone. Oh, it wasn't good, and then he made the play as Petway will be okay. A little bit of back spasm on that one. Davis Webb ran out of bounds on his last big run. He found a way to stay in bounds there and convert the 2-point conversion. That
was probably 30 yards of running to pick up a 2-yard conversion, but they got it, and they've got a little bit of life here.
Somebody get that man some oxygen as he is clearly gassed. Hey, a reminder, folks, 3:41 to go in this game. When we hit the end of this one, we'll have our NBL Live Player of the Game for broadcast number 216. And you can check out all of our Player of the Game selections all the way back to broadcast number 1. It really is a cool look back at NBL history. That's on our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. Under the NBL Live tab. You can also join the NBL and fill out an application to join the developmental league, The Grid. And you can buy one of our new gold standard t-shirts. That's all on our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. 1st and 10. Aaron Rodgers completing it to Harvey Beckham, trying to make a move, but he'll be taken down by Eli Apple at the 37-yard line. First down on the play. Didn't see who got hurt on that one. It looked like Harvey Beckham got up. First down nonetheless for the Lions.
Yeah, that's a big thing. The Lions, a little bit out of their organization there, out of their media there, just kind of worried about when that's going to happen. He's been healthy all year, I think. They've had some other injuries, but they just do not want to lose Harvey Beckham because he is such a dynamic threat for this offense.
Quick throw to the outside. It is complete on the screen pass. Bell trying to make somebody miss. Hook up to the 42-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, 14 of 18, 279 yards and 2 touchdowns. He hasn't had to be that brilliant, but when you've got Le'Veon Bell scoring 2 touchdowns, you've got your quarterback completing 75, 80% of your throws, it is tough to stop you offensively.
Yeah, and Rodgers has made a couple of great throws that really set them apart from the Giants tonight. And then, of course, Le'Veon Bell on the ground has been so great. Pass catching, running the ball, just another level to this amazing offense in Detroit.
2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Aaron Rodgers. He's got Le'Veon Bell in the backfield, 3:09 and counting to go here in the game. Lions up 14. As it is Rodgers dropping back to pass, looks over the left side. It is complete. Good tackle, goes short of the first down marker at the 47-yard line, as it looks like Zeman with the sack. Zeman with the sack. It's going to bring up a third. Or with the injury there. He's not going to be able to come back into the game. High ankle sprain. Should be okay, but that's a guy who's been really solid opposite of Reggie Ragland.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You don't want to take injuries, especially in games like this where you're kind of out of it. You just want to stay healthy for the rest of these, because both of these teams are going to be in the playoffs.
Bunch formation, 3 to the right, 1 to the left for Rodgers. He drops back on 3rd and 1. Waiting, looking, deep down the field. Why not find the tight end once again? Caitlin Cooper with the catch at the 30-yard line. Rodgers going up over 300 yards. Once again, the Lions in control. Looks like they're going to walk away with this game with a victory. And look, you got to ask yourself, I mean, there's a lot of top teams in this league. The NFC, though, it just seems like it's going to be the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, and that's what I thought that the Giants would be able to come out and do a little bit. Hopefully they'll watch this game back and take a little bit of what we said, adjust their game plan a little bit. Because like I said, the 2 wide receiver sets on offense are not doing them any favors against the Detroit Lions. And that's who they're going to have to compete against in the NFC playoffs.
Complete underneath. That should take us to the 2-minute warning in this one. And Lip, it is just, I mean, not to just put too much of a point on it, but, we get the Detroit Lions on NBL Live every a couple weeks a season. We see them in the playoffs a lot. It just gets more and more impressive each time to see how consistent they are at being an offense and a defense that is one of the best in the NBL.
Yeah, and like I said, we haven't really talked about the defense a whole lot because we've just been, impressed that Matthew Stafford's out the door. In comes Aaron Rodgers. We knew it was going to be a great fit, but it's really an amazing fit. Like, I cannot believe how well Rodgers is playing this late in his career, but he went to a great organization to do it, and they've just been unstoppable so far this season.
On 2nd and 5, Beckham will get up to the 27-yard line. Giants taking a timeout. They still feel like they're in this game. If they can get a stop here, they're going to probably need to block that field goal and get something to happen here under 2 minutes. But look, we've seen some weird things happen on NBL Live.
Oh, yeah, I've definitely seen some weird things. But the biggest thing I want to talk about right now is having Harvey Beckham run the football in this situation. I think you've got the game in hand. I do not want to get my star receiver hurt.
Oh, yeah. Especially with Montgomery down.
Yeah, it's exactly. I would have handed that off to the other guy on the field or somebody else, anybody but my star receiver.
Rodgers going to drop back on 3rd and 7, even up. They're going to keep throwing the ball. They're going to look over the middle of the field. They're going to complete it. Why not? Touchdown, Lions. There's no stopping. The Lions don't have any idea where the break is. They have no idea how to downshift from 5th gear. They're going to keep the pedal to the metal and keep rolling as they put 45 on the board and extend their lead to 21.
The Lions are just trying to pick up the first down, end the game, but a huge question for me is why the Giants decided to go with man coverage in that situation. I know, I mean, maybe I'm just different, but I know that the Lions are passing that situation to pick up the first down. And you go with man coverage, which has been shredded all night, not even a man blitz, not a safety in the middle of the field. It's just an all-around questionable call for the Giants. So I just, you say that they don't have a break, but the Giants didn't do anything to try to stop them on that play.
Yeah, how much much of this, we know how good the Lions offense is, but it does feel like a good portion of this game has been some questionable play calling by the New York Giants and the defensive line play for the Giants has been absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't think that they've matched up very well. They haven't put themselves in a great position. They've played very poor on defense with no pass rush. On offense, they've been completely one-dimensional with 2 wide receiver sets. They just haven't done a whole lot to put themselves in a good position. So the Lions were great, effective as always, but the Giants really didn't do anything to challenge them.
On 1st and 10, Davis Webb, he's going to take the sack on the outside. Ferguson getting the Webb. Lions really haven't gotten to Davis Webb either, but they haven't really needed to as the Giants have had to settle a couple times inside enemy territory. And again, you can't look back. There's some games you look back and you see a loss and it's like 3 turnovers by one team, and that's what happened. This one isn't that. It's just the Giants had to settle for field goals and the defense couldn't get the stops.
Yeah, and they were just completely outmatched in every area of this game tonight, so it's just a tough call.
Deep throw to Evan Ingram, who has been the one bright spot for the New York Giants as he is up 10 catches, 124 yards on the day. 3 wide receivers over the right side, 1 over the left. Petway coming in motion from right to left. Boy, this is bad. They just ran the fake. You got to think they're going to try to jump it. Yep, there's the defense. They throw it to the slant, though, and find Sterling Shepard. A little bit of a taste of what the Lions did to them. But, yeah, boy, that almost turned into disaster, having to run the exact same motion on the last play.
Yeah, that's tough. You never want to put yourself in that position. But once again, we talk about those plays that have 2 options, and it was there to bail them out that time.
Okay, I have to. I love all our guys, though. Let me preface that. I love all our guys. Darth Bend in the chat just said, the Giants are about to be like Nemo. 1,000 leeks under the seed leak like the vegetable.
Leaf.
No, it's leek. L-E-E-K.
Leak.
Yeah, 1,000 leaks under the seed. It's leagues. Like Bomber League. It's a measurement. Come on.
I feel like if you watch SpongeBob, you should know.
Well, as a SpongeBob expert, I do. 1st and 10 for Davis Webb, dropping back to pass, waiting, looking, trying to use that speed he has. He has the first down. Where's been this Davis Webb rushing attack? We've been waiting for the Giants. He finds the end zone. Should have had 2 touchdowns on the day. He'll settle for 1. Cut it back to a 2-score game.
That's what Davis Webb did so well to put the Giants in championship position a couple seasons ago. He ran the ball. He used his legs. He's an athletic quarterback. And we've seen him do it. Big run to put him inside the 5. And then, the big run to pick up the 2-point conversion. And then right there, it just was not used a whole lot tonight. And that's another thing whenever you spread the defense out that you can use with such an athletic quarterback.
Well, they're just going to keep this one deep, and you got to think the Detroit Lions are going to line up in the victory formation. 16 seconds left. They're going to come out, put one knee on the ground. The Lions are going to go to what I believe is 12-2 on the year. And the New York Giants are going to drop back to 10-4, still atop that NFC East. They got that one locked up. The Lions in a battle. Liv, how impressive have the Chicago Bears been for you?
They've been really impressive, and they pulled out a win today, I believe, against the Patriots. I think it was 38-33. It seems like each point in the season where I think that they're going to take a loss, they're going to take a step back in the race for the North. They just keep coming up big, but they play a great game. They play a good defensive game. They aren't making a whole lot of mistakes on offense as far as turnovers, and that's been the key for them so far this year. We've got 2 weeks left, and they're in position for the North.
Well, that's going to take us our final score, 45-31. The Detroit Lions showing off their offensive prowess and really just slicing apart the New York Giants en route to a big victory here on NBL Live Broadcast 216. It's time to pick of our player of the game for Broadcast 216. Lib, the Detroit Lions, Aaron Rodgers was absolutely fantastic. And Harvey Beckham was great. For me, though, the player of the game was Le'Veon Bell. It felt like that Bell sort of opened up this offense in a way that the offense didn't need to be opened up. He had the big touchdown run. He had another one inside the 10-yard line. And that threat of Bell being able to run, it really made it look like the New York Giants were second-guessing themselves the entire night.
Yeah, and that's absolutely my player of the game is Le'Veon Bell, because you know that the Detroit Lions are going to pass excellent. Aaron Rodgers is going to have a great day. Harvey Beckham's going to have a great day. But then on top of that, you add Le'Veon Bell, who totally changed the game up. The defense for the Giants started to come out in pass protection defenses, and Le'Veon Bell was able to take the game over, run all over him, get 100 yards and a touchdown. Definitely my player of the game for the Detroit Lions.
Yep, your NBL Live Player of the Game for Broadcast 216 is Le'Veon Bell of the Detroit Lions. And again, you can check out all of our Player of the Game selections on our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com, under the NBL Live tab. And that will do it for Week 15 action. A reminder, folks, follow us on Twitter at Bomber League. The last 2 games of the season, we'll be bringing you the best playoff implication matchup. So you don't want to miss out on that one. We will announce that on our Twitter. You can also just hit that follow button here on Twitch to make sure you know each and every time we go live. We are going to get out of here. We hope we see you throughout the rest of the regular season and into the playoffs. It is a fun time here on the NBL Network. For my co-host, I am OSU. Once again, your final score, the Detroit Lions coming out on top over the New York Giants. We will see you next week for some Week 16 action right here on NBL Live.